Hey guys, Rosepants here, back with another video that's going to be a little bit different. If you can't already tell, I'm wearing makeup, and I pretty much never wear makeup. And to make this video just a little bit more fun, I decided to throw on a little black dress. Many of you know that in the beginning of this year I did become freshly single, and I kind of went a bit hog wild at first, so I decided that I would sit down with you guys, have a glass of wine, and share 5 of my dating tips, mainly geared towards girls, because I know there are a few girls that do watch this channel, but whatever. If you guys out there have been dying to take me on a date, consider this it. Cheers. Tip number 1 is definitely geared towards the ladies, and this is to commit to your shoes. When it comes to going on a date, it really doesn't matter what type of shoes you're wearing. Do what is most comfortable for you. If you want to be wearing a giant heel and look fabulous, go right ahead. But if you'd rather wear a flat, do that. You just really need to commit to your shoes and be most comfortable with yourself and your outfit and going on this date and feeling your best. Let's have another sip of wine before we move on to tip number 2. This is something that can be used by guys and girls, and that is to be witty in pre-date texts. I got out of a close to 6-year relationship, so I hadn't pretty much never dated as an adult, especially in this new world full of technology and cell phones and all that fun stuff. And so something that I found very quickly was, even if you're going on a pseudo blind date, you're still texting with them and you exchange phone numbers before your date. So I definitely found it very handy to go out on a limb and be witty and funny. Of course, remain yourself, but just go out on the line and say something silly. The real reason for why you're going to want to do this is because just in case if there's any awkward moment on your date, you might have a talking point that you can go back from the texts and bring up something. Tip number 3 is another one for the ladies specifically, and that is about perfume. You know, we're used to putting it on our wrists and on our neck, but that just doesn't work. You put it on your wrist and I feel like you don't smell it at all, or it doesn't last, it gets washed off. And then when you put it on your neck, if a guy kisses your neck, he's gonna taste perfume, and that's just disgusting. So here is the trick with this tip. You want to put your perfume on the back of your neck. If you have, I just so happen to have perfume on a roller, so that makes it way easier. You just roll it onto your hairline or anywhere on the back of your neck, so then when your date comes in anywhere close, they're going to smell the perfume, but there's no chance of them ingesting it. Tip number 4 is geared to those 21 and above, but can be applied to other things as well. And that is just to know your limit. If you're out on a date and you know that you're a lightweight, don't have more than 1 drink. You're just gonna make yourself sloppy and probably embarrass yourself in front of your date. Or even if you don't drink, that's fine too. This tip is just about knowing yourself, being honest with yourself, and really not trying to impress your date on some superficial thing like drinking. Now that tip may also be applied other places, such as where you're most comfortable going on a first date. Is it first base, second base, third base, or do you go all the way on your first dates? Whatever you do, make sure that it's what you're most comfortable with and you're not doing it for any other reason. Tip number 5 is something that can be applied to anyone, guy or girl. Mostly girls, but guys should use it too, honestly. If you are going on a blind date, tell your roommate or a close friend as many details as you have on them. When I was in the middle of my dating craze, I guess you could say, I was going on a few Tinder dates. I don't know if you're familiar with the app, but it's a pseudo blind date. And so you feel like you kind of know the person, but you might not. So before I went on any random date from a guy on the internet, I gave my roommate their phone number, their name, I showed them their photo. Safety first. Dating in 2013 has been quite the experience, but it's something that I've embraced to the fullest, and I've made the most of it. I made that video back in May saying that I had pretty much had no idea what I was doing as a single person, so since then I feel like I've gotten a hang of things, gone on a few dates, and have had some successes, some not so successful. As always, thank you guys so much for joining me. Hopefully these tips will help you guys at home, and happy dating!